Imagine swimming in your backyard pool one day and literally hours later watching everything you own burn to the ground. That's exactly what happened to James Woods. The recent wildfires in Los Angeles have resulted in at least 16 deaths and extensive destruction, damaging over 12,000 structures. Key incidents include the Palisades Fire, which has burned about 22,600 acres and is only 11% contained, and the Eaton Fire, affecting Altadena with 14,000 acres scorched and 15% containment. Over 1 lakh residents have been evacuated as strong winds of up to 120 km/h threaten to worsen the situation. The fires have led to a public health emergency due to toxic smoke, and investigations are ongoing regarding their causes and the effectiveness of emergency responses. James Woods burst onto the Hollywood scene in the 1970s with his intense acting style and piercing gaze. But while his career was soaring, his personal life was about to become a roller coaster of relationships, controversies, and shocking revelations. The year was 1980, and James Woods was a rising star in Hollywood, fresh off his breakthrough role in The Onion Field. Enter Kathleen Morrison, a talented costume designer who caught Woods' eye during a film production. Their romance was straight out of a Hollywood script, late-night conversations about art and cinema, passionate debates about theater, and the kind of whirlwind courtship that makes headlines. What many don't know is that Kathleen was more than just Woods' wife. She was his creative partner. She understood the demanding nature of the entertainment industry, having worked behind the scenes herself. This shared understanding initially seemed like their strength, but it would later contribute to their downfall. Their wedding was an intimate affair, attended by Hollywood's elite. Woods, then 33, was at the cusp of superstardom. The press called them the thinking person's power couple, both intelligent, ambitious, and deeply involved in the arts. But the cracks began to show barely a year into their marriage. As Woods' star rose with roles in Videodrome and Against All Odds, the dynamic shifted. Kathleen later revealed in a rare 1985 interview with The Hollywood Reporter that Woods became increasingly absorbed in his craft. James would spend weeks completely immersed in his characters, she said. He'd bring them home, live them, breathe them. There was no room for a marriage in that space. The final straw came during the filming of Once Upon a Time in America, when Woods spent months in character, barely communicating with Kathleen except through the lens of his role. They separated in 1983, with Kathleen citing irreconcilable differences, Hollywood's favorite euphemism for a complicated truth. 6 years after his divorce from Kathleen, Woods shocked Hollywood with an announcement that seemed straight out of a tabloid headline: his engagement to Sarah Owen, a young woman 26 years his junior. Sarah was just 23 when she met the then 49-year-old Woods at a restaurant in Beverly Hills. According to friends who spoke to People magazine at the time, it was an instant connection. Woods, riding high on his success from Salvador and bestseller, was completely smitten. The wedding was lavish, a stark contrast to his first marriage. Held at a prestigious New York hotel, it made headlines not just for the age gap, but for Woods' public declarations of having found his true soulmate. But what happened next would become one of Hollywood's shortest marriages. Just 4 months after saying "I do," the couple filed for divorce. The details that emerged were explosive. Sarah's court filings painted a picture of a controlling, jealous husband. She claimed Woods would dictate what she could wear, who she could talk to, and even how she should style her hair. Woods' counterclaims were equally dramatic, alleging that Sarah had married him for his fame and fortune and had been planning to write a tell-all book about their relationship. The divorce became so bitter that both parties had to be restrained from speaking to the press. The settlement remained confidential, but sources close to the couple suggested Woods paid a significant sum to keep certain details private. After 2 failed marriages, Woods seemed to embrace his bachelor status with gusto, but not without controversy. His dating choices continued to raise eyebrows, particularly his relationship with Ashley Madison. When Woods began dating Madison in 2013, she was just 19 years old, younger than the age gap between Woods and his second wife. The relationship lasted 7 years, despite intense public scrutiny and criticism. Woods defended their relationship fiercely, often taking to Twitter to challenge critics. But it wasn't just the age gap that caused controversy. Woods' dating patterns became a topic of heated discussion in Hollywood. He was known for pursuing significantly younger women, leading to a notorious incident in 2017 when actress Amber Tamblyn accused him of trying to pick her up when she was 16. Woods denied the allegation, but the controversy added to his growing reputation as Hollywood's controversial bachelor. Perhaps most telling was his 2019 interview with Vanity Fair, where he addressed his relationship choices. "I've lived my life on my own terms. People can judge all they want, but at the end of the day, I've always been honest about who I am." His relationship with Madison eventually ended in 2020, adding another chapter to Woods' complex romantic history. Unlike his marriages, this breakup was relatively quiet, with both parties maintaining their privacy. Looking back at Woods' relationship history, we see a pattern of intense, passionate connections that often ended dramatically. From his creative partnership with Kathleen Morrison to his whirlwind marriage to Sarah Owen and his controversial later relationships, Woods' love life has been anything but conventional. Now let's talk about what really got people talking. Woods' political activism and controversial statements. Known for his conservative views, Woods has never shied away from expressing his opinions, especially on social media. His recent comments about the Gaza conflict sparked intense debate. Woods took to Twitter to express strong support for Israel, writing controversial statements that drew both praise and criticism from his followers. His outspoken stance on this issue has made him a polarizing figure in Hollywood. But just when you think this story couldn't get more dramatic, fate had other plans. At the start of 2025, the devastating Los Angeles wildfires swept through some of the city's most exclusive neighborhoods, including Woods' Malibu home. The actor's multi-million-dollar mansion, which he'd owned for over 2 decades, was completely destroyed in the blaze. Woods shared the heartbreaking news on social media, posting photos of the destruction and writing an emotional message about losing precious memories and irreplaceable possessions. What makes this even more poignant is that just weeks before the fire, Woods had been vocal about climate change policies and their impact on forest management. On January 8, 2025, Woods stated in a CNN interview that his California home was destroyed as the result of the ongoing wildfires in Southern California. Escaping unharmed, Woods alleges to have assisted in the rescue of his neighbor, who he described as a 94-year-old man with dementia. While he was evacuating the area, the actor became emotional upon stating that he had been swimming in his backyard the previous day, only to lose all of his property several hours later. And there you have it, the tumultuous and controversial life of James Woods. From passionate romances to public scandals and personal tragedies, his journey has been anything but ordinary. But what do you think? Is this just the price of fame? Or could it be harsh karma for past sins? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that uncover the truth behind Hollywood's biggest stars. See you in the next video.